Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Poland, and I know everybody thinks doing a rescue is so much fun adventure, but Meredith and I just got back from shopping, which I think they thought we were buying materials to kidnap. We bought duct tape, tarp, cargo ties, knives, cleaning supplies and trash bags.
Did you get a shaver?
We did not get an electric shaver.
That would have been fun.
So doing that was part of our thing, but Meredith has been multitasking between computers, phones. We are still working on all the final details in hopes that these cats can be home for the holidays. And and of course, Dr. Andrew Kushner joined us. He's just got off a long flight, so Meredith and I finally got sleep, and you have none.
I have 0. 30 hours of travel time.
And everybody knows that you have been along for the Cubs, but you had a big 8-day break. What are you talking about?
So well rested, yeah.
So when you got off the plane today, you came and saw the Cubs that you've been caring for a long time. You've been gone 8 days. What was your first impression?
I couldn't believe how big they got in 8 days. I saw them when they were about 2 kilograms on day 1. And then when I left, they were about like 10, 11 kilograms. I think they're probably like 14, 15 kilograms at this point.
Yeah, they're pretty big. Prada just is very, very large.
So
and
sweet.
our supporters haven't got to see her much because she's in the quarantine area. And then
Right.
I've also, Kiara, the black leopard, likes to butt in all the time. So we definitely, before I leave from Poland, I'd love to show people Prada to a little more closely because each one is so individual. And so what is we don't know what the future holds, right? We're here doing
Right.
everything we can. But I know one of the questions I always get asked is, is it going to be stressful for the Cubs? Are we acclimating them to crates so that when the transport comes, that they'll be knowing? And then you and I kind of developed a way that we're going to kind of tell them apart to make sure that they're ID'd. You can tell them apart. I know I can tell them apart, but we want to make sure that when this trip does happen or when things happen, that there is no mistaking who's who, and things like that. So kind of talk a little bit about the crate training process, if there is one, and like the identification process we're going to be doing.
Sure. Yeah, so all of these Cubs have really had a history of moving in crates. So they all are adjusted to being in enclosures, and even here at the zoo, when we're cleaning their spaces, they go into a little crate. So they're very accustomed to being in the crates, and of course, travel for a prolonged period of time is always stressful for all of us. I just did 30 hours and I'm stressed out, but we always mitigate that, with positive reinforcement, and in terms of ID, all of the Cubs have had microchips since they left Ukraine. But to differentiate the 3 little lion Cubs, so that everyone's on the same page, we're going to do a little bit of a shave on certain areas of the body, just to identify and to be able to have a key, essentially.
A quick visual of who's who, so that people don't have to get their hands on to scan for the microchip, especially if
obvious.
transport were to happen, or if Cubs got separated, or even for our staff at the sanctuary. I mean, we might have to do this again depending upon when they actually come to the United States.
Right.
But for the 3, I mean, they're world travelers by now, aren't they? Because they went to Odessa, Kyiv, across the border here.
Yeah.
So amazing. And so people have asked, I know you haven't been here for 8 days, but you've been in contact with everybody. Has there been more play dates with Prada and the other lion Cubs?
I don't think there's been direct play dates where everyone's been in contact, but definitely like the close, like whenever the room where the 3 lion Cubs are, whenever that's being cleaned, the 3 go into like an open kind of carrier, kind of a crate, and that's put adjacent to where Prada is, so that they can all kind of smell each other and get accustomed to each other. But I don't think we've had another official play date like we did a week ago.
Okay.
And
I know
such a great first.
It was a first, like Prada. We have to give kudos to her.
Patient, really patient.
Well, and I know you have a special relationship, but one thing I respect about you, Dr. Andrew, is that don't falsify that they're apex predators. So talk about kind of that relationship you've had with them, but knowing that they're going to be coming to a sanctuary and they're growing up, and that they shouldn't be pets, no matter what has to be done when they're young.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's a big thing. Like people ask me, why aren't they pets? Why can't they be pets? It's not that they're not affectionate. It's not that they don't build relationships with people. For me, it's that they are handleable and safe to work with in the appropriate setting up till a certain age, and then after a certain age, they're just so big, and they have sharp claws. They bite a lot. They require a lot of space, which the usual person can't provide as a pet owner. So then the pet suffers and the animal suffers. So I spent a lot of time with them when they were small and cute and cuddly, and at a time when these animals are very social in the wild. So they want to socialize with mom or with their provider. But I always knew that eventually I would never be able to handle them again, and it would all be hands off. And
well, now we even watch, even at this age, how they treat each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's the cuddle sessions, but sometimes there's the challenging and rough play, and
oh my gosh,
they
I think all my
scars.
all my scratches are finally scarred, which is good.
That so much reminded me when I would see the pictures of your hands, like raising Dash. A lot of our followers know that I had to raise Tiger Cub Dash, but seeing your hands just made my hands sting unbelievable, because I think of how many times I had to wash and scrub with all the scrapes and things on it.
Yeah, and they just bleed nonstop.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, knowing where they're going, knowing they're going to be with you and Wildcat Sanctuary, it's a blessing. I mean, I think it was 83 days ago when the Cubs arrived, and I reached out to IFAW saying, please help me, get these Cubs out of the country into the best possible sanctuary, and that's how I met you, Tammy.
Thank you. Well, it's been a team effort for sure. I can't, I know, I get it. You're doing the not so fun thing, so this is what we learn is don't bring your computer if you don't want to be the admin and logistics person. But no, like I said, is I have to give Meredith so much kudos, because she's doing the job I've done on all of our international rescues, and it is so much back and forth, so much detail, so much paperwork. It has taken the load off me, and it's been able for me to share the story with everybody, that everybody just wants an animal to be rescued and go across country. And the hardest thing for me is walking through the zoo today and having Ava tell me about the other animals that still need a home so that she can rescue more from Ukraine. And I just wish, as a joke, I told Meredith that we're going to build more crates and put more animals on that plane, but when the time comes. But that's just not possible, because we see how much work and planning has gone into just this process.
So much logistics, and I mean, I'm so grateful to Meredith specifically, because since day one, she was the one that I've been contacting with to do all the permits for just getting out of Ukraine and Poland, and now she's doing everything else.
So what is your plan after the Cubs finally reach the U.S.? What is next for Dr. Andrew Kushner?
I ask myself that a lot lately, because I had only intended to go to Ukraine for 3 weeks in August. Week 2 is when the Lion Cubs arrived, and I ended up spending 3 months in Eastern Europe. And for so long, my life has just been getting these Cubs, through the next day, through the next week. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a nice long break. Spend time with my family, my friends. It was really intense being in Ukraine. I can't. It's really hard to explain how intense it was. It was just, it was a lot of emotions, and getting these Cubs to where they need to go will be just the most perfect kind of closure to that period of my life. That's what I was working for so long, for so many months.
And they'll always be seen on social media, and the invitation is open to everybody involved to come see them at the sanctuary. And so, well, we would just appreciate what everybody's doing. The journey is not over. It just feels nice to have, we talked about earlier today, the support system of everybody, even the Posen Zoo. I mean, this is Saturday and it is the World Cup, which is a big deal here. And Poland's playing, and I heard Poland's in the lead. And so for these guys to give up such a major event like we all did for Thanksgiving is just shows you that it's a team effort and everybody is kind of going in. Well, I know. So the next few days, keep me honest to my supporters that we will see Prada.
Yes, of course, yeah. I know I'll be seeing Prada.
So,
we'll bring the followers along.
Yeah, and we'll keep everybody posted. I know they're due for another flea and tick treatment, so the veterinarian said he'd like assistance with that, with you and all that. And we'll just keep you guys all posted along for the trip. I still think it's so cute. Everybody's asked us if we've sightseen and what Poland food is like. Besides the mall we were just at, where we couldn't believe that inside mall had like a Home Depot or Menards in it. It seemed so weird for us, but it was wonderful, and it was very cute when cashiers and Meredith and everybody were using their translation app at checkout. So that's been our big adventure. Otherwise, this is our role and this is our adventure. And our next steps is you'll know them as soon as we know them, everyone. So thank you. Your donations help so much. We have our partners that are helping along the way, but once they reach the United States, we have a 20-year commitment for 4 cats. And so sponsorships of the cubs are available. I have a very, very special surprise that I've talked about, and I'm going to think is that because this team has been so major, and because I know custom crates are going to be built, are being built, that we are going to have every one of the team members sign each crate. And then there'll be ways for people to get pieces of those crates. And so that you're part of the journey home for the lions too. It's kind of their passport to freedom. Would be really great to have everybody's support. So stay tuned for that, and we'll keep you posted as the days go on. I also know people have asked when we're going to go home. We don't know. It really depends upon details, and we already know our home date got changed today. So, but when I go back home, I'll let you guys all know where I'm going to be. But first, I'm going to let my husband know when I'm going to arrive and everything else, because he's holding down the fort. So, thanks everybody for being part of this. We will catch you again all hours of the evening and day.